Good morning, good afternoon, good day. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another... What am I streaming on? Firestorm Studio stream. Welcome to another Firestorm Studio stream. I am your host, Heather Courage, and I am here to do stuff. We are going to be running through the full pipeline of kind of doing retopology. I started putting this together because I was going to do some of it off screen and then just do the retopology with you guys. And then I changed my mind about that because I realized that a lot of the time people are getting stuck on like how the fuck to go from ZBrush through to Maya, where to file things, how to group things, what can be baked in, what can't be baked in, and so on and so forth. And I wanted to run through how I think about things. There are other ways to do this. Obviously, this is how I do these things. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you every step that I take. And then that way you can kind of see the full progress of it, how it goes, where things go, where I file things, and so on and so forth. And maybe give yourselves a slightly better understanding of like the entire workflow as opposed to just like you draw quads, you hope for the best. Because this is one of the more difficult parts. I find that this stage of the project and the baking stage of the project are the most challenging bits because they require you to really focus on what you're doing and think about what you're doing. And, you know, you have to be very methodical and organized in how you're filing things, where you're putting things, how you're naming things, and so on and so forth. And I don't often stream this part of the process because it does require that extra amount of thinking. But I thought, fuck it, we're going to stream it. And I might not be as chatty as normal. I might not be as like distractible as normal because this is really the part where you have to fix mistakes and fix errors. And I could have done that off stream. I could have done that separately and then just given you the final like, and now it's all pretty. But instead of doing step 1, draw a circle, step 2, draw the entire owl, I'm going to show you how to fix things that have potentially gone wrong as well. So we're gonna go through everything. It's gonna be it's gonna take time. This is gonna be a fairly long stream because it does take time to go through all of these things. It's also gonna be a fairly frustrating stream, so if you see me getting frustrated, I'm sorry. But we're gonna go for it and hope for the best and hope that it all comes out looking nice and shiny and all the rest of it. I see we got people in chat already. Hi, you posted more progress of what you were doing? Cool, I'll go check it out in a bit. Hey, good evening here. I mean, what is the time here? It's 1 o'clock here. Technically, it's afternoon for me. Hello. Hey, we got new people chatting. Hi. How you doing, guys? All right, so first thing is first. I've already spotted a problem with my file. There is already an issue that is taking place, which I'm going to try and fix at the moment. I'm going to try and fix it. Before I fix that, what I'm going to show you is the very basics of like how I file things and where I file things. Hopefully this doesn't result in me getting absolutely like doxxed or anything, but what I do when I'm setting up a project is I will take my final sculpt. So this is my sculpt. This is my high poly. This is it. It is high poly. And we're very happy with our high poly. It's very, very nice. I have still got dynamic running on a lot of things, so I'm going to show you a few tricks about that as well. But once I'm kind of finished with my project and I'm happy with it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to first of all save it. So you'll see, let me show you on here. Where the hell did I save it? Found it. So these are all the different files for the project that I'm busy working on. I've got the main character protagonist, the weapon, and the second weapon. So we're busy working on weapon 1 at the moment. And what I do is I usually save the previous file for safety's sake, the final file, and then what I'll do is I'll also save over it and say Deci Bake and Deci Retopo, because I'm going to be decimating for bakes and I'm going to be decimating for retopo, and each of those are going to be at different levels because I need different levels for it, really. So that's how we're going to work on it. However, I have since found these errors that I need to fix, so I'm deleting those 2 files. We're going to be working on our final file because our final file is now not finished. And what's not finished about it is that if you zoom in, you'll find that, oh my god, I managed to delete a whole section of my mesh. Look at that. There's a whole section missing. I assume that what I did was I had separate polygroups and I did a polygroup split and then didn't realize it and deleted a section of it. I can't find those polygroups. I don't think they're hidden anywhere. So I'm gonna have to just regenerate them and remake them, which is gonna be fun because I'm doing this with the mouse. Today we don't have a tablet set up. I don't need a tablet for this section of things. I've got multiple screens running because I've got Maya on that screen. I've got ZBrush on this screen. We are going to be focusing on Maya retopology today. If you're interested in seeing ZBrush retopology, I'll be doing that tomorrow over on the ZBrush live stream where we'll be tackling the second weapon. But for today, it's just going to be Maya because Maya's easy. And yeah, we're gonna work on it step by step as we go through all of this. So bear with me. It's going to be one of those weird streams where you might actually learn something as opposed to just have me like talking shit, which is going to be weird. I know, it's so weird, but we're going to go for it. I've already gone through and checked previous files because what I was going to do was I'm lazy. What I was going to do is I was just going to go back into a previous folder, previous save, and then grab the piece, export it, and re-import it again. But unfortunately, I've managed to delete all of those as well. But fortunately, on the fortunate side of things, it's actually not that difficult to fix because if you look at it, we have got, oh, we don't have dynamic running on it at the moment, but we do have subdivision levels. And this is why subdivision levels and having a good mesh are so important and so useful. So we could just say close holes, but I will not be doing that because I don't like how that's going to turn out. Like if we go for close holes, first of all, we're going to have to say like delete lower close holes, and it may not actually, this one worked pretty well. And normally it doesn't. Oh no, there we go. It didn't work as well as we wanted to. So with the close holes option, it's not gonna quite do what I want it to do. It's a little bit more unpredictable and it's not something you should be doing on your like finalized mesh. So let's not do that. Let's go back to having subdivision levels. But instead it's really easy because it's, especially because it's hard surface, it's a hard surface piece. We can just remove all of our subdivision levels. And it recalibrated it? Were those in this? I have no idea why it's done that. Why is there nothing on subdivision level 6? Sometimes it's better not to ask questions. At least we found it again. What I was going to say is we could just go back to subdivision level 1, delete our higher levels, and then just close these pieces manually so that it's all nice and fixed. We could just extrude the edges. But since we found it, let's see if we can do something with that. So we hit dynamic. I don't know why it doesn't want to apply dynamic either. Huh. Something is wrong. Something has happened here. I don't know what the something is. Can I subdivide you? Not really. Why are you not giving me subdivision levels? Something weird about this piece. I might just restructure it because I think something's gone wrong. And I'm not quite sure what it is. Interesting. Ah. Okay. These appear to have faces on the inside as well. I'm not sure how I've done that. Do they have faces on the inside? No, maybe not. I mean, there's something is very strange here. Something is not doing what it's meant to be doing. But it's okay. We're going to figure out how to fix it. Let's say show. Yeah, there's faces on the inside and on the outside of that, which is what's making it weird. Easiest way to fix it. Gotta think. Let's just go back. Somewhere in my modeling, something went wrong. See, these guys work. These guys do not work. Do you know, I think it's going to be easier to actually just break it. I think. and then take that and manually fix it. And then that way I know it's going to work, as opposed to just trying to guess. Because this one, what we could do is run... Oh, I don't know. It would have to be like polygroup by normals and then delete polygroups. I'm not going to go through all of that. Let's see if we can just fix this manually. Let's delete that piece, go back to this piece, and we have symmetry on the right side, so that's nice. Oh, it's really awkward doing this with a mouse, let me tell you. So let's go to ZModeler, and we are going to bridge. So if we just bridge, we should be able to repair our mesh and then go through the rest of it. Man, it feels so weird working like this. Oh, I want my tablet. I want my tablet. So yeah, in the meantime, what are you guys up to? What have you been working on? What is giving you a lot of happiness at the moment? We're going to keep this a positive stream. We're focusing on positivity today. So, like, what's inspired you recently? Let's talk about inspiration. I'm trying to think what's inspired me recently. Oh, you know what's inspired me recently? Actually, what's inspired me recently is I've started doing the Scott Eaton course on anatomy, and it's been absolutely fabulous. It's so interesting. Such an interesting course. I am absolutely loving it. It's making me ridiculously happy. And I think sometimes, like, when you're working as an artist, you go from being like, I like making art and I like learning about art, to everything I do for art has to be something that's going to generate revenue or make a good reel or be useful somehow or make someone interested in hiring me. And it's so nice to get to go back to just like learning and spend some time learning. I've really, really enjoyed it. So it's my new thing. Like, whenever I'm feeling a bit of an art block, I just go and start studying again. It's been fucking great so far. Okay, so we fixed our mesh, theoretically. Let's switch off double to make sure that I've fixed it. So we fixed our mesh. We are now going to apply dynamic. Oh, there's 2 out of bounds UV coordinates. Okay, we're going to ignore that for now. There's a hidden thing inside here. But I'm gonna choose to ignore it for now. It doesn't super matter because we're gonna end up, we'll end up cleaning it anyway. So we're just going to say apply, and now we should have our piece back in place. Happy days! It's there, and that's all that matters. So let's go to save as, and I'm going to save this as weapon 6 because that is going to be my final file. I'm sorry, I haven't checked chat in a while. What do we got? Let's see. Doing an art test. Oh, congrats. Good luck. I hope it goes really, really well. That's really nice. Crystarium, funny enough, when it comes to my own environment work. Yeah, fair enough. The environments for Final Fantasy XIV are one of the things that got me into doing 3D art. Because I started playing the game, seriously started playing the game right around the time of the pandemic. And I just fell in love with it. I fell in love with the environments. And originally I wanted to be an environment artist. I wanted to be able to create worlds. That was my whole thing. I was like, I just wanted to make worlds. And then I fell in love with doing this instead. So here I am. Working on submission for the Punisher challenge. Yes. So that is super, super tempting. If someone wants to throw a link up there for that, that would be really cool. There is a really cool challenge taking place on one of the other channels, not my channels at all, but on Punisher's channels. He's got some really, really good challenges going on there, and it's really, really fun. Also, Split Specs, who are you on Instagram? Please tell me. Are you, because, wait, hold on. Are you, hold on, I'm gonna go look for who it is. I feel like I should know who the people are in my chat, and I never do. I never know who any of you really are. Hold on. Split. I'm gonna look through my connections or something. I don't know. If you are who I think you are, then holy shit, your art is amazing. You're incredible. And also it's very embarrassing sculpting in front of you. But anyway. Right, what else we got? Oh, that was during Endwalker when you kind of started to, yeah. Yeah, I got started really late. I had to like rush to be in time for Endwalker and stuff. Totally not in the server. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. You guys come into the Discord server with one name, you email me with a different name, your Instagram is a different name, and your name over here is a different name. So more often than not, I have no fucking clue who you are. Not a clue. I think it's Split Sculpts is the person that I'm thinking of. Is it Split Sculpts? Hold on, let me see. If it is Split Sculpts, then... Split... Sculpt? Yeah. Split Sculpts. If you're Split Sculpts, I'm going to be very embarrassed to be sculpting in front of you because your work is really fucking incredible. It's always fun when that happens. So I'm like, oh wait, hold on. There's someone that's really incredible watching this. Please don't. So anyway, good morning. Hey, Corebreaker, how you doing? Nice to have you here, guys. Right, what was I doing? Right, we've resurrected our piece. We've resurrected that missing little McGafter over there, so that's nice. That's a good start. I don't think there's any other pieces. We were missing a piece here, but I've re-imported one of the previous saves, so that'll do. It's fine. It's fine. And yeah, we're good. So we've saved our final version on this one. I'm now going to save 2 different variants on this one. So we're going to save this as weapon 1 underscore Desi Retop. Actually, first one will be Desi Bake because we'll deal with this one later. So that one's going to be decimated down into a baking level, which is going to be less decimated than what we're going to be doing now. Hard to maintain names over platform. Everything's taken. Yeah, I know. I feel you. One of mine is I am not choosing another one. That's one of the names that I use on things. Recently discovered nicknames in Discord. Now you split specs on your server too. I haven't set up Instagram or anything on socials yet. I see. Interesting. Yeah, nicknames are useful. Please, like, guys, help me out. Or at least just be nice and be like, this is so-and-so. Then at least I know who I'm talking to. I have a very small brain and only so much memory space. Like, RAM is expensive these days. Okay, I forget things. So we're going to save another file version of it. So we've got our Desi Bake, which is where we're going to decimate for Bake. This is going to be Desi Topo. So we're going to decimate for Retopo on here. And this is the one that we're going to be focusing on mostly today. We're going to focus on the Retopo decimation and what I'm going to be doing with it. So the first thing I do when I'm looking at something like this is, oh my god, there's so many different little pieces. And because we are going to be doing this for a game model, we will... I know it's you, George. I know you. I know. I share all your work all the time. I know you. Install more RAM in your brain. I mean, please do. If you can afford to buy more RAM, good for you. You're doing well in life. It's too expensive. Hey, Divine Mr. Green. Hello. So we are going to break this into like pieces because I'm going to retopologize it for a game model. It's not going to be super optimized for a game model, but it's going to be fairly optimized for a game model. And as such, if I was doing this and I was being lazy, which I do sometimes, because of the workflow that we have previously used on this file, you'll see that everything has got a very nice high poly. So we now have subdivision levels applied. So we have got a high poly and a low poly. And if you have a look at it, I literally would not need to do retopology on this one. However, if we're optimizing it for a game, we're going to want to, we're going to want to put all of the pieces together that are going to be just like schlumped together and retopologize into one piece so that we can optimize and save as many polys as we possibly can. Right? So this is where you actually have to like look at what you're doing and think about it. The other thing that we kind of need to do is if we put everything at, oh, do I have all high set up? No, I don't. Okay, there's a little button over here under geometry that you can just grab it and say, is it under geometry? It's not under geometry. It's under subtool. There we go. All high. So if you set it to all high, you can get your highest level on everything. What I want to do is, first of all, apply dynamic to everything. And this is where shit might hit the fan because we're already sitting on 5.9 million. So rest in peace, my poor little computer. If everything crashes now, I'll be back in a few minutes. So we're going to hit apply. And if you didn't know about this, there's a really cool little button over here under the subtool menu. It says apply last action to all subtools. So we're going to hit that and say okay. And with that, our file size is probably going to be, oh, there we go. It's jumped up to 11 million. So it's not too bad. So that will get rid of all of those different settings. Now, this is again a good time to go through and check your file, your project, because sometimes if you are working with double running and you've inverted your mesh, now when you hit apply, you're going to find holes in everything and find that it's not working quite as brilliantly as you thought it was. So good time to check things. And then what we're going to do is start breaking things into manageable chunks to retopologize and work out what's going to get retopologized together. This does require a bit of thought. Too much thought, in my opinion, but it does require a bit of thought and a little bit of like working out what you're doing. One of the things that this is where I started doing things and then realized that maybe you guys wanted to know about this. But so if I was retopologizing this, if there is a gap, like over here, where there is a gap, you cannot just retopologize this straight over the top of that. It's not going to work. You're going to end up with a terrible, terrible mess over there. At the same time, if I was retopologizing this into one piece, it's going to be pretty painful for me in Maya to go in there and try and retopologize up and around this little section. So because we're being partially lazy now, if you were doing this for a studio, they're going to expect you to go inside that gap. But because I'm doing it for myself and I don't hold myself accountable, I'm going to be a little bit lazy and I'm just going to do this as one piece over here. So that's going to be its own little piece. Whoopsie, not dynamic, solo. This is going to be retopologized into one piece. It's still going to be a little bit of a pain in the ass because I haven't really made it as nice as I could have done. I should fix it. To save my own brain, I should fix it. I might just go back and fix it. Let's see. If we go back to here. So what I mean about fixing it is like this little gap in between here is going to be a nightmare to work with. So what we could do is, let's say auto groups, go to the move topological brush and just kind of adjust that so that it sits nicely on top of one another and it actually intersects properly. And that will make it a lot cleaner when we retopologize. If I was being very good, I would actually line up all my edge loops so that it's even easier to work with. But I'm still lazy and I'm not going to do that. So yeah. Told you, this is going to be a long stream. It's going to be a long stream with a lot of decision making. Ideally, what you want to do here is go back and save this onto your other file, but we'll get to that. Will you bake the bevels on a flat geo? Yes, probably. Some of it, not all of it. The silhouette, like if I want to keep the silhouette on here, I'm going to keep that silhouette shape. I'm not going to, that's not going to be flattened out. But some of it, yeah. Some of it we'll just cheat and bake details into it. Where was I? Who was I? Why was I? Oh God, did I delete another piece? I did. How am I doing these things? Why am I doing these things to myself? Sad face. This is why you shouldn't do retopology streams. Got to actually think while you're doing them. It's very poo. Can I go rescue that piece is the next question. If I go back here, does it reappear? No. Damn it. Damn it. I didn't think that one through. It's fine. Let's do save as. So much saving as is going to take place. We're just going to save that there for now. And then we're going to go rescue that piece again. Oh, we got someone here. Hey, Rion. Hi, how you doing? How are you? Happy Tuesday. I can't see the color. Your name color is like shitty. It's difficult to see. It's odd. Odd to see, okay? I struggled. So that's the piece that we want. Let's just... Actually, while I'm here, I'm just going to be late. I'm being so lazy. Right, let's just fix this piece here. I am fixing everything so that retopology is not an ass. That is what we are doing here. Is just like, you have to just go in and analyze everything that you're doing. Now, if I wanted to make this all into like a solid piece, you could still do that because I could go into here and like pull that and close that gap and then close that gap. Actually, maybe we're going to just do that. Maybe we're just going to cheat this piece. Fuck it. We're just going to cheat. Let's close that one. And then if we take this piece over here and we just kind of line it up a bit better, or we could take this and pull it around a bit more. This might be the easier way of doing it. It works really well if you've got dynamic running, because then your movements are a lot more fluid and a lot easier to kind of navigate and move around. Let's add a loop in over there and just try and reinstate some of that shape that we've lost now. Yeah, because now we can just do this all as one great big piece, which will probably look a bit better as well. Look at me voluntarily adding work to my plate. So proud of myself right now. Match things up as much as possible. The more you match things up, the easier your life is going to be, because you're going to be able to just go straight over and not have those gaps that you're going to have to fix while you're baking. So you have to kind of pick your battles and where you want to do things. Let's see. A few years ago at game school, they would tell us to decimate the model and use that as a low poly. I got nothing to add to that. I don't want to say anything. I'm going to leave it alone. So now, with that in place, now we can start merging things again. So that piece, no, that one, and that one. Let's do merge, merge, merge. Not that one. Now I've got to go find all the pieces. Who are you? Not you. Who are you? Actually, you are going to get merged in with it. Going to do a great, this whole piece is just going to be one great big chunk. While I'm doing this, I'm like, there's faster ways to do things, but that wasn't what I wanted to do at all. But what I'm doing at the same time is just kind of thinking it through as much as I can and working out where and how the topology is going to look and where it's going to sit and whether or not the pieces are going to work through on it or not. The more time you spend in the preparation phase, it's the same as collecting references, right? The more time you spend in the preparation phase, the easier it's going to be at the end of it all. Any tips for dealing with so many subtools? Yes, my tip is get used to it. No, my tip is for dealing with subtools. Get used to it. Oh, let's apply subdivision as well. File things into different areas, file things into different groups. If you've got a project with, like, if you're doing a full character, I set up folder systems according to how I'm eventually going to work out the UVs. So if I'm doing a character for a game and I'm doing, you know, 4 UV tiles, if it's only 4 UV tiles, then what I'll do is I'll set up, like, the hair is all going to be in one file, the skin will all be in one file, the clothes and whatnot will be in one file, and all the metal objects will be in one file. So I separate it according to whatever the material set is going to need later on when I apply the materials and the shaders and all the rest of it. And I split it up into those different groups. It's also like, I mean, you can just merge things down. If you merge it down, it's fine. Like, it's fine. Merge down. You can always unmerge things, right? Like, you just set it into a different group and then off you go with your life. I don't love how this is taking a slight break here. Hey, hi. Hey, 3D Manic. You're not late. I'm early. I started the stream like really fucking early today. I wanted to get through stuff. Also, I woke up really early and now I don't know what to do with my life. Like, I feel like I've been awake for a very, very long time. I think it's crashing or crashed or both. Can I just escape? Will it escape? It's not going to escape. All right, well, we'll just carry on chatting for a bit while we see what it does. Is no one going to mention the freaky ass face in the background? What freaky ass face in the background? In the background here? This one? Is that the, like, is it a face in the scene or a face here? And is it that one? That's not a freaky face, that's art. We love art. Don't be mean to art. So the notification Discord message and all the stuck doing stuff. Oh. Yeah, but you're busy actually doing things. Like, you're actually busy. It's allowed. You're allowed to be busy. You're allowed to do stuff. I don't love how this is still sitting here like this. It's giving me bad feelings. I think something bad is about to happen, but I'm not sure what yet. No, the face. What face? Are you just trying to creep me out? What face? I hate this. Trying to think which face it is. I've got lots of weird shit behind me, so I don't know which face you're talking about. Is it this? Oh, that's gonna collapse. Is it this one? The Scullies? I don't know, I've got lots of, You're trying to fuck with me. Oh, sorry, okay. Oh, there's a face. I don't know. There's so much weird shit in my house at this point that, like, it could be anything. Like, you're trying to freak me out. Meanwhile, I'm like, oh, you mean the dead thing behind me? Yeah, that's my friend. Okay, I don't know if this is going to crash, so I'm going to do a save as and just save the next file. I don't know what it's doing. This is what I mean, like, when you're at this point, it's always, you end up going backwards and forwards through so much. And I think that, like, when you watch someone else doing retopology, you don't see this happening. You don't get to see, like, the problems that take place and the issues that take place and all the rest of it. And then you think that no one else is having the same problems as you. And honestly, they are. Everyone is having the same problems as you. We are all suffering together. There's something very weird going on with this file. So we'll see. A human skull? I know, right? That's not even a human skull. That's like it's a candle. It's just a little candly skull. It's a little baby skull. But since you all asked, let me show you my favorite thing. This is my Art the Clown. And he's beautiful. And I love him. And he's just a cute little guy. I love him. Don't ask. Fuck my life. What is that? Oh, hey, we lost our thing. It's gone inverted again. Something very weird about this file. Not gonna lie, it's one of the downsides of doing streaming is that, because I stream over like a series of weeks doing the same project and I take gaps in between working on the project, I come back to it often and I have no idea what I was doing while I was working on it. So it can get problematic for me sometimes. Trying to think if we should merge this one in. Yeah, we'll merge it. Merge down. It's thinking. Oh, where did I lose this piece now? See you merge. It's not loving it. Yee! I got that when I went to the Horrorwood convention, the Ice Nine Kills Horrorwood convention, and Art the Clown was there, and I got to see Art the Clown in real life, and it was very exciting for me because I love Art the Clown. So one of the things we are going to do is go back and fix this stupid piece for like the 7th time. I swear to God, I don't know what's wrong with this piece. I have no idea. No fucking clue. I don't know why it's being weird. Okay. It's fine. We're just gonna fix it. Let's fix. Split. So it's split hidden there, but it... Okay, I think we've deleted the additional faces. I don't know. I don't know what I just did there. I don't know. Do you think about retopology at the start of projects? Yeah. Yeah. You should be thinking about, you should think about the whole pipeline from the very, very, very start. When you're picking a concept, you should be thinking about like, how are you going to achieve the textures? What sort of materials are you going to need? How many tiles are you going to need? What's the retopology going to be like? How complex is the retopology be? Because when you think about it that way, it guides like how you're sculpting things in the full process. When you sculpt things, you won't make gaps in them. You won't leave spaces in between. You won't make it unnecessarily complex for yourself unless you have to. Whereas if you just sculpt to your heart's content, you sometimes don't think about those things, and then in the end you get extra work to do. It's the same reason again why whenever I'm working on stuff, I will literally retopologize as I go, so that if I was just going to take this out as a single asset, I would be able to take it out as a single asset and I just have to do the UVs on it and it's done. The character that I did for this complete set that I'm busy building, when I did the retopology for her, she only needed like 3 items to be retopologized. The rest of it was done. It was already in perfect state for it, so nice. Right, what the fuck was I doing? Okay, so I don't know how I fixed that piece. I have no idea. But since we're going to be baking in the details, this little piece over here, this beautiful little piece that I spent ages making, is going to get deleted. Before I do that, let's make sure we start saving things on the right files. Oh, we've lost our hairpiece as well on this one. Something very weird going on with this file. But it's okay. I'll make it work. Am I just working on the wrong project? I am a fool of a toque. That's what the problem is. Okay, it's fine. So let us append... Can I just append this Z-sphere? Yes. Success. Right, back to saving. Save as. Weapon 7. This is our Weapon 7 final piece. Okay, so I think we're in a good place. Dive in and figure it out as you go. Yeah, I mean, you could do that too. If you hate yourself. So what I'm going to be doing now, right, we're going to go back here. Save this as Desi Bake, because this is now our final weapon. And then wait for it to finish thinking about that. And then we're going to save as Desi Topo. So this is going to be our retopology file. Retopology file, we're going to start removing bits and pieces that we aren't going to retopologize over because we can't be asked and don't want to. In the simplest sense, like just because we're just not going to. We could technically retopologize this in one great big solid piece and go the whole way up through the knife, through the handle, through all the rest of it. But I am going to put the blade in a separate piece because I'm going to want to keep that really separate and potentially put it onto a separate UV to put a different shader onto it. Potentially, but I haven't really worked out yet how I'm going to do that. So instead, what we're going to do is start by removing all of the little pieces that are just going to be baked in. All of the baked in goodies. I hope we've saved properly. I really do. Delete. Delete. This guy. Delete. These are all going to be baked in details. We do not need them. Delete. They do not need to be there while you are doing retopology. Make your own life easier. Just get rid of them. Delete. Otherwise, you're going to find that your retopology, your quads that you're drawing are going to end up clipping through the mesh and try and attach to the pieces that you don't necessarily want them to attach to or need them to attach to. So delete. Delete the whole lot. So the handle's going to be one whole great big piece, and that's fine. I think we're going to connect all of these little pieces as well. So these guys, those are already one piece, so that's fine. This guy is going to get connected to this guy, I think. Question mark? Oh, look, there's a hidden section underneath there. Aha! Aha! Delete. So now we got this little weird section here. We're going to retopologize this guy into this guy, I think. Let me just see if there's a gap. There's like a bit of a gap there. Yeah, there's a bit of a gap there, which is not ideal. In fact, what I'm going to do is, for that one, I am going to cheat because I don't want to have to resave the file all over again. So we'll have that as a separate piece, that as a separate piece. For the big circly guy, we have got lots of little pieces that need to go into there. So let me go find all of those. Gotta go find them all. I should have named things, but I didn't. This guy. So that one definitely needs to merge down into that one. Where's this? Yay, organizing everything. Merge. If I wanted to be nice to myself, I would do this as one piece and that as one piece. But we're gonna be mean to ourselves. We're gonna cause some punishment. It's gonna suck, but it's okay. If we find it's too complicated later and causing too much grief with like the different shapes and things, we can always just go back and fix it. But ideally we're not gonna do that. Ideally, we're just gonna make it work. So that one merge down. So that's gonna be a whole great big chunk. Yay. And something's gone invisible. Interesting. I don't know why. So this dude, I'm guessing is going to be connected to these guys. This guy. This guy. This guy. What is this? I'm not gonna lie, that is potentially gonna get deleted as well. I think, in fact, yeah. Because anything that we're basically not keeping the silhouette of, we're going to just remove. Delete. Delete. So that's going to stay separate. That one's going to stay separate. This guy and this guy are going to get merged down into the same piece. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. It'll do for now. It's fine. Then that guy. Then these guys, I'm going to leave them clustered together for now. That's fine. The hair strands are all going to be done as individuals, basically. So we can... Actually, we could just cluster all the hair. No, we can't cluster all the hair together because when I bake it, I want to split them apart and give them a bit of space from one another. Otherwise, you're going to end up with weird details baked into weird places. So we're going to keep these all as individual pieces. And then that way I can just pull the strands apart when they get baked. That way there won't be any weird occlusion taking place. Oh, fly. Oh, it's a fly. Interesting. I have pet mantises, so every time I see a fly that's like in the house, it's like, is that one of my flies? Did they escape? Have I caused this problem? My husband says I usually have, so there's that. Okay, these dudes, let's see how they work. How did I make them? It's like playing hide and go seek. It's one of those memory games of like trying to remember where things are. That's weapon 11, that's weapon 2. Let's see. That dude's gonna sit there. This guy. What is that guy? That guy can go there. This guy, this guy, this guy. Yeah. Merge down, merge down. And then there's this little dude here, which is going to go over there. So that guy merge down. Yay. Tremendous success. So what have we got? What's this? That's going to sit by itself. So when we do retopology, we're going to have a blade piece. We're going to have the main handle piece. We've got that little dude, that guy, that guy, that guy, this guy, this guy, that guy. Then we've got the handles, the holder, hair strands, hair pieces. Those two can go together, and then these should all be hair strands at the end. Yay! And now we just have to decimate everything. So you can say decimate all, pre-process everything, decimate everything. I am not going to use that because I don't want to. I go through things individually for many reasons. One of the reasons is that my computer is not... It's not Jay Hill's computer, okay, guys? I'm running a 2060 graphics card. It's a tiny laptop. So I've got to do things slowly and methodically, and it works, so it's fine. You can work things. It's amazing. Like, you don't have to have the best computer to be running software like this. You just have to think methodically and work in small batches and small pieces. So instead of doing everything at the same time, I'm going to do it in smaller pieces. It also allows me to decimate different amounts for different things, like different sections get different amounts of decimation. So we're going to do that instead. And it's going to take a long time. So by all means, if you want to go and grab yourself something to drink, now is the time. If you want to go and find yourself a snack, now is the time. Feel free to make a fast and hasty getaway. I'm going to take a 2-second break while I decimate some more of these things. Well, actually, hold on. Let me do the first one. So we've done the pre-process on the first one. That was really, really quick, to be honest, because it's not that dense. And then you're just going to decimate current. And it's going to drop it down and give you a really ugly mesh. But it's only 16,000. You could go further than this. What you want to be doing is checking that, well, actually, you don't need to check anything because this is going to be retopology. So all you need to do is make sure that it is holding onto the structure that you want to have in your shape and your silhouette. It doesn't matter if you've got a really janky looking ugly mesh. It really doesn't matter because we're going to use a different file and do a different quantity of decimation on it. So all we're trying to do with this, all we're trying to achieve right now is we're just trying to make sure that we have a mesh that's easy to work on. And the lower the count is, the easier it's going to work within Maya. That's all we need. The rest of the stuff's going to be done in Marvelous Designer, in Marmoset, and so it won't need that much. It won't need to be as decimated. Maya is pretty unforgiving, as I'm sure you all know. So we need to kind of decimate it down as much as possible. If I try and throw 1 million points into Maya, it's going to give me a bad time. If I throw 1 million points into Marmoset, it would not care. So yes, now is the time, guys. If you are looking to take a break, I'm going to take a 2-minute break, maybe a little bit more. I'm going to leave the stream up and running while I do this, and I'm just going to decimate all of these things while I also grab something to drink. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Be right back. Okay, to be nice, I've changed my mind. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch my camera off for a few seconds while I definitely am just drinking some tea. I'm just gonna switch my cam off. You guys can see what I'm doing. I'm gonna switch the mic off as well because it's pretty boring to narrate, but you'll at least see what's going on. Alrighty. So for the hair, it's got decent topology already. So all I'm going to do is in Maya, we're going to run a mel script to delete every second edge loop. So all you want to do is take it down to the lowest and delete higher. Do that for all of these. Zoom. In fact, what we can do is instead of doing that, let's drop this over here. Let's say all low. And then we can just delete higher as we go. Delete. 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 And let me just see this one. Yeah, even this one. We can... Oh, it doesn't have subdivisions. See if we can reconstruct them. Reconstruct? You don't want to reconstruct subdivision levels? Oh. Maybe I need to apply that. There we go. And then say delete. So now we have had a file go from 11 million points to 100,000 points. 100,000 is still pretty high, but it's fine. And we can work with it. So now we just need to start exporting everything. Yay! TASMR. No. I draw the line. I draw the line. I know some of my streams are weird, but I'm trying to be normal these days. As normal as possible. Okay. So let's do the thing. Let's save as. And when you save, it's going to pop up. Oh, it popped you into the right menu. That's a miracle. So save that. Save that. We now have a retopology file. And we are going to keep that file going because you never know if you need to go back and fix things and change things and do things and blah, 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 blah. What I'm now going to do is set up a different filing system. Normally, this is pretty disorganized for me, I'm not going to lie. But we're going to do a... What am I going to do? Have I got a retopo file? I do have a retopo file. Let me change this. So this is going to be character. Hey. So let's move all of this shit into character. And then we'll just set up some new folders. So this is going to be weapon 1. Oh, everything's a little bit sticky at the moment. Actually, while things are sticky and while things are going well, let me just go and empty out this. So if you find that you've got, if your ZBrush starts getting sticky, it's probably because you've got a really high poly count. But the other thing that you can do to try and fix it is if you go into preferences and then go into your, oopsie, where is it? Quick save menu. You can adjust what your quick save counts are. Like if you've got a really, really high amount, I've only got 50 as a maximum. If you have a really high amount of quick save files, it's gonna, your computer's gonna get really, really sluggish pretty quickly. So I'm just gonna delete all of these because I don't need them right now. Fingers crossed I don't need them right now. So we should be fine. Should be. Let us export this into wherever the hell I've got things stored. Got to think about where I store things. My storage systems are very messy. So we're going to store this into retopo weapon and we're going to save it as an FBX because we're going to split it out as we go through things. So we can then just say... And if you save as FBX, it's going to give you the option to save selected, visible, or all. In this case, we're going to go with all and just say OK and export the entire shebang. Happy days! File is exported. Right. To Maya. So in Maya, I have already set up a scene. I have already set up the project itself. So the project is set within my normal project files. What we will do now is just import the entire piece. We'll import our high poly. So our high poly FBX shouldn't take too long to drag and drop into here. And there you go. There is our delightful piece of geometry. One of the things that I made a mistake on here, which was a big mistake, is that if you go to the front of my weapon, it is facing this direction. I shouldn't have done it this way. It's easier to work in X symmetry, but I didn't do that, so here we are. Let's set up our group. So to group things like that, all you're doing is Control G. That's going to set up your group. We're going to call this weapon. Oh, weapon 1 high. Now, the nice thing about baking in Marmoset is that you don't actually need to set everything as high underscore low. That is, that's a Substance Painter baking workflow that you need. Whereas on this one, you don't need it. So I mean, it's better to. It's easier to. It'll save you a lot of time if you do it. But I'm probably not going to bother doing it because I'm, again, really, really lazy and I like to make my life difficult. The other thing I'm going to do straight away is I'm just going to switch off this grid because I don't need it. And then I'm going to assign a material onto all of these that isn't white because honestly, we don't need it to be white. So I'm just going to slap a Lambert on there and then it'll give me an attribute editor, which for some reason is not docked to the side. I don't know why. I hate trying to dock things here. Like, it never works the way I want it to. Please just go where I need you to be. It's fine. So if we go into our attribute editor, we should be able to adjust... Whoopsie. Adjust our Lambert. So if you go into Lambert, you can also do it if you go into the Hypershade window, which we'll do in a second. But for now, we're just going to say Lambert 2 is going to be weapon high underscore mats. And we're going to change the coloring on here is just to something that isn't blinding, really. That will do. That is fine. So now that we've got that set up, that's going to get closed. And while I'm at it, I'm just going to go into the Hypershade menu because I want to delete everything that we don't need because I just like to delete things. So if you go into Hypershade menu, you're going to get something that looks like this. If you right click and it listens to you, which it's not doing, you can go to edit and say delete unused nodes, and then you delete all your unused nodes. Happy days. Lambert 1, you can't overwrite, just leave it sitting there. It's just sitting there keeping them company. You don't need to worry about it. It's fine. Do you know if Max has the same retopo workflow? I have no idea. I guess I'll find out. I think it's pretty similar. Like, I'm pretty sure it's fairly similar on how you do things. Fairly similar. So yeah, now we can start working through our entire project file and working through all the different pieces. Some of the stuff we exported like this, we don't need to retopologize it. We're just going to start deleting edge loops, really. So you can either go through and manually do this, or you can go and get yourself a nice little mill script. For this one, I'm going to do it manually because it's not perfect. Because it's not perfect, because I said so. So I'm going to have to do some of this a little bit more carefully than I normally do. You want to make sure that you're still maintaining your silhouette as much as possible, and therefore sometimes it's not going to work the way you want it to. If we're doing this for a game as well, like, remember, you're going to want to keep this as optimized as possible, and you're going to get some weird shapes. Also remember that because it is a weapon, because it is made of metal, because it is not a malleable surface that is going to deform, we are allowed triangles. What we are not allowed is quads, which are quads. What we are not allowed is n-gons. So if I did that, you'd end up with an n-gon, which we don't want. So we're going to just leave that sitting like this for now. I'm busy thinking about how I want to fix it. Do that. That's fine. Just close that out. Yeah, a lot of this is just going to come down to like a manual fixing of things to try and get it to work as best we can. You could just leave those triangles in there, honestly. It's not hurting anyone, but it's going to, because I'm probably going to try and delete. Let's try and delete this. No. Oops. See, we want to keep this middle line, obviously, to keep the blade of it all. See, can I do that? If you're in Maya, if you press Q, you end the operation. So at the moment we are on the welding operation. If I press Q, it gets rid of it. Just as a useful piece of information. If you press G, you open up that same thing again. So if I press G, it should bring me back into welding. There we go. Yay! Been told by a Max user who switched to Maya it's much better in Max. Could be propaganda. I think that whatever you're used to working in is the easiest thing to work in. And I think that's what people... I don't know. People don't realize. Like, there's different workflows and different ways of doing things. And most of them are absolutely fine. Like, if I went into Blender right now and tried to use Blender for this, I would really, really struggle. Because I'm not used to working in Blender. And that's why I work in here instead. But yeah, we're gonna just start squishing things, really. I prefer working with verts. Does that hold the shape? Yeah, it does. Yay. You're also going to see me clicking all the wrong buttons because I'm so used to working in... my brain just stopped working. I'm so used to working in ZBrush that the moment I come into here, I'm just like, why is everything so complicated and difficult? Do I need that one there? Basically, we're just crushing it down as much as we possibly can. Like... That's Retopology. Welcome to Retopology, guys. We're going to crush it as much as we can without getting weird n-gons. That's the plan. Those guys can go there. That can go there. I don't like the shape there. So you can see here we've got like a weird ass shape, which isn't gonna... It's not gonna do us any justice if we try and keep it that way. I wonder if we do this. That might work a bit better. Yay. Again, we're doing a weapon. It's not going to deform. Hopefully, it's not going to deform. So we don't care about triangles. It's fine. It's going into a game engine anyway, so everything's going to get triangulated. So I'm not overly fixated on it. If it was going to be deforming or if we were going to animate it in any way, then yes, obviously we would spend a bit more time trying to make sure that it doesn't have triangles. But in this instance, no one cares. I think we could even get away with doing that. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Making a decision here. Do I want to keep that line running through it? Not really. You don't really need it. ZBrush muscle memory, yeah, right? It's a genuine thing for me as well. It's really difficult when I go from streaming in one software to streaming in a different software. I'm like, how do I do this? How does anything work? Why is it so complex? Why is it so difficult? I think we could get away with doing that. But, oh no, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe I'm being hopeful. Like, we're literally putting in as many triangles as possible to try and just drop the count down. Nope. Baking this is going to be a pain in the ass. But we'll survive it, don't worry. Trying to see if we need to... Yeah, we need to hold this shape, so this point needs to exist. But we could... Ah. Why are you not working? Oh, because we're on UVs. Go there. And it's not pretty, but I think it'll work. Just constantly just like slapping it down even more. That should still hold. That should still hold. I don't love this little section here. I think I could do better with it, but I also don't really care. Sometimes when something is super annoying to rebake, I just fix the maps in Photoshop. Oh god, yeah, everyone does. Yeah, same. Same. If that's what I was like, I could sit here and like fight with myself over it, but if we find that there's going to be an occlusion issue that takes place here, like it bakes into itself, I'll just take it into Photoshop and fix it in Photoshop, because life is short and I don't want to waste time. So there. So that should work. I know it looks ugly. It looks so ugly right now, but don't worry. It will look better, hopefully. I think we've lost some of the point here, but... Let me just check. No. That's fine. Okay, cool. So this is now going to be... laid low. And we're just gonna drag this guy... out. Couldn't remember how to remove things. You can go over here. Fuck it. Get your own group. Get out. Go somewhere else. Oh, I'm so not used to working in here. Okay. So this is going to be weapon low. Underscore grip. So we've got blade low done. Yay, what a fucking mess to work with. I know I'm excited. Are you excited? No. Okay. Well, get excited. It's an exciting time. Right. Let's make our mesh live. So now it is a live mesh. And then we just need to go to Mesh Tools. Quad Draw. I love you, Quad Draw. I actually do love Quad Draw. I like doing retopology. I know everyone pretends that they hate doing retopology, or everyone does hate doing retopology. I like doing retopology. Retopology is fun. It's nice. It's therapeutic. Like, it's not difficult. It's just, you just have to sit and draw little squares, and that's it. That's all it is. Unfortunately, with hard surface work, it's relatively easy. I usually just put on a podcast and listen to a podcast while I'm doing this. So to begin with, what I'm doing is kind of tracing the outside line of it all, and then I'll connect all the middle bits later. But for now, we're just gonna give ourselves a base of operations to work off of. And again, where we need to put triangles, we're just gonna go ahead and put triangles. where we want to hold the silhouette. We hold the silhouette. Where we don't want to hold the silhouette, we just go straight over the top and get on with it, really. Why no portfolio reviews? Because we've been taking a bit of a summer break. But we will get back to doing portfolio reviews. The next one that's sort of in the works for getting planned is having my own portfolio reviewed, which is going to be, it's going to be interesting. It's not necessarily going to be great. I'm a little bit nervous, but I am talking to my lovely mentor who I adore, and my mentor is going to come on and review some of my work so that you guys can see that it's not just like, it's not just you. It's not just you that has to go through the process of getting portfolio reviews and all the rest of it. We all do. We all ask for help. Asking for help is part of the deal. Hey, long time no see. How you doing? What you been up to? It's so nice to see you again. So we do have symmetry running on this, which is great. Being able to use symmetry is very nice. We like being able to use symmetry. Yeah, I don't know what else to tell you about that. We have symmetry running. Yay, I remember to put on symmetry. Quite often I don't. Then I have a whole separate problem to deal with. So this little detail here, this little silhouette that you can see me just ignoring, is because it's so minuscule it really doesn't matter. So we're just going to bake straight over the top of that guy as well. But here we want to hold the shape, so we're going to just increase our poly count a little bit. It is okay. You need to decide where it's worth keeping the silhouette and where you can lose some of the silhouette. The other thing that's useful to do when you're doing work like this is if you're not sure whether or not that silhouette needs to be kept, go and check the original weapon and see if it's hidden. Because sometimes you'll spend ages faffing around, like tidying up a little corner, only to find out that it's actually a hidden corner and no one knows about it, so you're wasting your time. Yay! Working on videos and stuff. Oh, nice. Studying substance. Oh shit, that's cool. That's very nice. I, at some point, will get back to studying substance. Texturing is not my favorite thing. Like, I like doing texturing, but it's definitely not my strong point. I spent the least time learning that. Like, I just put pretty colors on and hope for the best. Not good. So I'm paying attention while I'm busy doing this. I'm kind of trying to keep track of where the other lines are, where it's potentially going to reconnect. Again, just to make my life easier later on. Sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't. So we'll see. We'll see how much of it I need to fix later. And when we get weird little bits like this, again, triangle. Triangle is fine. Just slap a triangle in there. Ooh. Transition of mesh to paint. Ah. Well, stick around because we're going to be doing the texturing probably, I think maybe next week. I will not be doing the baking of these on stream, but I will record them and upload them as just YouTube content so you guys can see what the baking process looks like. It'll just be a time lapse of the baking. The reason that I won't do the baking on stream is I have tried it before and all that happens is my entire computer crashes. So let's not do that. It doesn't go well. Trying to decide how I want to hide this a little bit. This transition is a pain. And this is what I'm talking about when you're doing your modeling, like thinking about where your retopology is going to be and how it's going to interconnect with one another. It's going to save you having those weird gaps that you're going to have to account for later on. So it is good practice to kind of think about it beforehand. I'm going to try it from a different angle. What silhouette okay, so what my thought process there was like, what silhouette is it that I actually want to maintain and where do I want it to lie? And yes, while I'm doing this, you'll see me leaning at weird angles. It's part of retopology, it's normal. So I think the easiest way about it is just to kind of cover this up. Which may or may not be to our benefit. I think it'll work. It'll work. It'll be fine. Ah, new follower. Hello. Thank you for following. Welcome. Welcome to actually concentrating on what the hell I'm doing for once. It's rare. Tomorrow I'm going to have to concentrate even more because I'm going to be doing Retopology and ZBrush. Using the newish ZBrush Retopology tools. And I haven't done that in a while. So I suspect that it's not going to go as well as I wanted to. But we're going to try it anyway. Sometimes I like to just like punish myself on streams and do stuff that I know is not going to work. Ooh. Is my plan gonna work? Maybe. Maybe my plan will work. Maybe not. Maybe. I think it'll work. Oh my god, your mentor must really suck. Imagine having a mentor that tries to get you to do retopology. Guys, you don't need retopology. Retopology is for, like, losers. Don't listen to your mentor. Also nice to see you, darling. Welcome to the stream. And on that note, how's your retopology going? Going good, huh? Nice to see you. How's your characters going? All of your updates that I've been seeing look really good. If you find that when you're doing something, it keeps snapping to the wrong vert, just go and see, like here, it's just because I've ended up inside of the mesh, which again, happens a lot. You can adjust your settings in Maya so that it's got a different, like, attachment threshold. Is that the right word? It's not the right word. Basically, it'll have a different level of depth that it'll attach itself to. So it'll determine a bit better where it's meant to be connecting versus where it wants to connect to. But even then, sometimes it just doesn't do what you want it to do. Like now. Okay. Good. He's good. Doing bandages right now is pretty easy. Nice. Yeah, I'm excited to see what the next update is. Do I want to go straight over this? I think I'm going to try. We're going to try and go straight over this. It might not bake as well as I'm hoping it's going to bake, in which case I might have to make some adjustments, but we're going to try it. So I still want that plane change to work. This is such a zen part of the whole process. Like it requires no real thought. It's just drawing little squares and following a shape. It is easier than sculpting, in my opinion. You don't have to worry about the silhouette, the form, the silhouette, the shape language. All of that's already been decided. All you have to do is make sure you are following the lines and getting in nice edge loops. That's it. It's easy. I wonder if we can... How am I going to do this? I can't be the only person that sits like an absolute weirdo when I'm working. It's how you know I'm taking it seriously. Why did we just hands that bolt upright? So true. So true. I need to retype my dragon dude, which has been dusting off. Ooh, that'll be fun. That'll be good. Yeah, guys, don't forget, join our Firestorm Discord. The links are somewhere down below. If you haven't got the link somewhere down below, then I don't know. I'll put a link in there in a second. Let me finish this little section and then I'll put a link in for you guys to come and follow, support, get involved in the community. We got a really nice community there. I like to think that we take very good care of our community and make sure that everyone's good, nice people. We don't really tolerate people being dicks on there. We just remove them, which I think is good. But you know, what can I say? It's my own community, so I get to make those decisions. But I'd rather have a nice, wholesome community where everyone's like friendly and stuff. Okay, this is getting a little bit dense, but we're going to leave it as is for now. Oh, you don't want to work. Find someone Discord. Yeah, it is a nice refreshing oasis. We don't tolerate bullshit. We don't tolerate bad vibes. We don't tolerate people trying to be edgy. We just don't. Everyone is their best self on the Firestorm Discord, which is nice. It makes me happy. So happy. Ah. So I suppose I should explain some stuff. Questions? What is going on here? Well, I'm glad you asked. We're doing retopology. If you have just joined the stream, welcome. This is going to be a fairly long stream because I have a lot of work to do. I am in the process of wrapping up a bunch of different projects. So you're going to see that like I've kind of stopped working on the sculpt that I was doing. I'm not picking up a new sculpt until I've wrapped up the two that I have been working on. And so we've gone back to the protagonist character. We're going to be finishing her up first as best we can. And then I'll go back to the baker. I'm going to get the lovely Anna, my lovely mentor Anna, to have a look at it because I'm not happy with it, basically. I have been rushing a lot of my projects because I've been putting myself under a lot of pressure recently, usually. I've always put myself under pressure. I don't know. I've got no excuse for that. I've been putting myself under a lot of pressure to get things done and to work on projects and keep you guys entertained. So often I will, you know, skip through things and go as fast as I can to keep it as entertaining as possible. And in the end, some of my work hasn't been my best work and I'm not proud of it. So that's why we're now taking our sweet time and going back and doing retopology. Even though I didn't want it. What's the poly count? What's the question? What is the poly count you are right now before the topology? Oh, from the sculpt? The sculpt was, it's decimated down to 107,000. It was at 11 million, but we've decimated it down to kind of work on it. So this is what the full sculpt looks like. And we're doing this tiny little bit somewhere here. Actually, we're doing quite a big piece, but we're hoping to get this down to, I don't know how far down we're going to get it to go. As far down as it needs to go, I guess. We'll see. I don't want to try and guess. We've got points over here, so you can see in the entire project we have got all of these points. In the current project, this is what we're busy working with. Or in the current thingy. You decimated, yes. Yes. It was definitely decimated. Maya would have absolutely shit the bed and like taken us down in a ball of fire if I hadn't. So yes, we absolutely have. Yay. Ah, you're heading out. Bye. Nice to see you. Can't make everything a triangle. I'm trying to make everything a triangle. Can't make everything a triangle. I mean, could make everything a triangle, but probably shouldn't make everything a triangle. I wonder if we could just kill this. It will work. Now how do I fix it? Now what do I do? Maya tantrums, yeah, dude. Maya tantrums are great. Maya tantrums are lovely. We love Maya tantrums. But yeah, it's decimated, significantly decimated down. Why you don't want to connect? For what reason? Fine, I'll just force it. Yeah, so once you've placed your edges in, it's just a matter of playing connect the dots. That's all that is going to take place here. We are just connecting everything up. So annoying when that happens. Just connect to the one I want you to connect to. Don't know if I like that. Might leave those ones. Might leave those ones running. Actually. Watching someone do 3D makes it easier to do your own work. Ah, yay. I am very happy to help. It's nice. I get distracted if I'm watching someone else. Aw. Yay, I did something useful for someone. That's so nice. That's really, I love that. Only ever done hard surfacing in my own Blender, but should I be retopologizing these models as well, or is retopologizing only necessary on sculpted items from ZBrush? So if we go back to this guy, so this is my original piece that we're working on. This one's been decimated down, but when I first worked on it, it had a really clean mesh. So if I wanted to, I would have been able to take out each of these pieces and use them as they were with the lowest subdivision level and then just bake it in. What we're doing with retopology here is optimizing it. So we are combining different elements together and then putting a skin over the whole piece. So these are all different individual connected bits, like here. That's what we're busy working on at the moment. And instead of leaving them as individual pieces, we're going to just put them all in together into one great big piece. If you've managed to box model, poly model it into that shape, then you don't have to. But if you've done them as individual pieces like I've done, then yeah, you're going to have to. This was done partially in Maya and then brought over into ZBrush and backwards and forwards. So it depends. It depends on how complex your mesh is and if you want to optimize it more and go further down on it. Generally, I would say yes, but also sometimes no. I'll show you in a second. Because I've got other pieces in here that we're not going to retopologize. We're just going to use the lowest subdivision level and then delete some elements out of it and call it a day. So what I'm trying to avoid here is a weird spiral. If you look, it's going to go spiraling off into the sunset. It's not a huge crisis. I don't know if we can avoid this one. We might have to just let this one live. Yeah, we're going to have to let that one live, I'm afraid. But obviously, spiral's bad. Spirals make doing UVs more difficult. So you want to avoid having spirals in your mesh as much as possible, wherever possible. Oh, that was convenient. What I mean by spirals is not like a loop. A loop is good. A spiral is when it spirals through your entire piece and causes chaos further down. That's what you want to be avoiding. Spirals on deforming meshes also make your riggers crash out. Yeah, if you like your riggers, don't put spirals into things. They won't be happy, and they won't be your friend anymore if you do that to them. Evil laughter. I want to change this. I don't like how I've done it. Optimizing. Thing is as well, like an optimized mesh is seldom a beautiful mesh. It's not one of those meshes that you see on ArtStation that looks super, super sexy and everything's in like a nice flow and looks pretty and stuff. Your optimized mesh quite often looks like an absolute fucking disaster zone. But it works, and that's what you need it to do. The mesh works, then it's fine. Showcasing a pretty mesh is nicer. We do like a nice pretty mesh. But as you can see, this is not pretty. it's not beautiful, but it's gonna work, and that's all that matters. One sec. Okay. Yay, we're getting somewhere. See, not so bad, guys. Not so bad. Could be worse. Hmm. Yay, relatively easy. And because everything was pre-planned, pre-planned and we thought about it before we started doing things, it's actually worked out really quickly and really easily, except for this one little piece that wants to be difficult because it's gone inside of the mesh, so I can't get hold of it. But if we grab it like that and pop it there, then it should work again. Yay! We're so clever. We're so good at this. Yay. Someone hire me. Blizzard, come on. Let me do something for you. I don't know. Actually, no, I'm good. We're going to stick with Firestorm for now. Right. So, final bits. Yay! We can start closing up the final bits of our mesh. Very nice. So yeah, retopology, not difficult, time consuming. It takes a lot of time. Like, it does take time to get a good mesh, but it's not taxing. It's not like super difficult or strenuous or anything. Just got to quietly get on with it. Work through it methodically, go through chunk by chunk. When you get annoyed, step back, go do something else for a bit. Beautiful. Ah. Aha. Not beautiful. Nearly beautiful. Beautiful. Wonder if we can delete this middle line. I don't think so. Yay! All right, we got a piece. Nice. So to end the process, you just press Q, and now you have two different meshes. Your bottom one is over here, and we can relabel this as... Oopsie. Fine, you don't really have to relabel it, but you can. Gotta go. Bye! It's been so nice. Yeah, come and hang out as often as you can. Come and spend time. Spend time with me. I will be on tomorrow on ZBrush Live, so you can come and see part 2 of the disaster unfolding there. Yay. I can't even be bothered to rename this. It's just gonna go find its house up here. So weapon 23 done. Let's unhook that one. Weapon 21. Oh, easy. We got a nice easy one. Yay! We just have to tidy it up and then it's done. So we can drop weapon 22 is now going to go into the low poly group, and let's just optimize it. There we go. Brain stopped braining for a second there. Oh, it doesn't like that. Maybe we're going to leave it alone. I'm going to leave it alone. Optimized enough. Leave it as is. Weapon 19. Quadrol. Right. I am gonna take a slight breather from being on camera. I will continue working. I'm just gonna switch the cam and the mic off so that I can drink some tea, yawn, and everything else that I desperately need to do and not do on camera. Is this for a project, customer portfolio? Oh, it's just a portfolio piece. It was just a piece that I started doing on ZBrush Live. So it was sculpted on ZBrush Live, and then I'm now just wrapping up the rest of it. And then I'll slap it onto my portfolio and call it a day. Thank God. So yeah, I don't have a client telling me what to do, which is nice. Right. This is a really awkward little thing that I should have done better, but here we are. Okay, I'm going to disappear from screen for a few seconds. I'll still be here though, so yeah, you can continue watching 3D happening. Bye. All right, I'm back. Well, hey. Finish. Oh no, I was not talking. I was very much muted during that. Now I'm talking. Oh no. Sometimes I take breaks from talking. Believe it or not, sometimes I stop talking. So what was that? 19. Let's go 15. Ah, good. Ah, bad. Complicated. Right. Life Savers, Smash Tools, Quadra. This one's quite a complex one. It's gonna be a bit of a... It's gonna be a bit icky. Especially this, like, little tight gap here. That's not gonna go very well for me. I should have closed that gap. But I didn't. And now I have a problem. I also have a problem over here, but that's a separate problem. Okay. We're gonna work on it though. It's fine. We'll figure it out. What's the worst that can happen? Sometimes if I see something that's like really icky and gonna be difficult, I like to kind of tackle it first. Because I find like a lot of your other topology is gonna rely on that little section working. I'm trying to decide if I want to really hurt my own feelings or not. I think it'd be a good idea if I did. So I'm going to grab those two and just connect them in the middle. And then grab those two and pray that they work. Oops, they did not work. I have no idea if those ones worked or not. We'll find out. Hooray! Okay. Yay! Yay! I did the difficult thing and now I don't have to do the difficult thing anymore. That's nice. I think that's the worst part, but we'll find out. And yes, I'm taking a 2-second breather. Let's see. Okay. Dragging it all the way up to the top. Something's gone wrong. I think it's this piece. I don't think it likes this little section here. Fucking saxophones. Yeah, this little corner bit is not doing what it needs to be doing. Alright, the saxophones have got to go. We're not that kind of stream. Hey, Night Skeptic, thanks for the follow. Thanks for coming to hang out. Thanks for wanting to spend time here. So yeah, we're doing the same thing that we did on the first piece. It's going to be, I think the easiest way to do this one is to follow the edges and then fill in the gaps where we can. And however we can, if we can. Maybe it works. Maybe it doesn't work. I want to tackle the really difficult things before I do everything else. If you get the difficult bits out the way, it's easier. Easier. Find the shapes that are going to make your life difficult, deal with them first, and then we'll deal with the rest of the problems as they come up. Do I need that piece? I don't. I'm genuinely surprised. I've been streaming for nearly 2.5 hours now, and my cat has not made an appearance, which is very rare. I'm surprised. It is not often that we get through an entire stream without my cat making an appearance. But to be fair, it's because she's sleeping over there. She'll join us, don't worry. Doing retopology is so soothing. Like, it's such a calming thing. It's so nice. I don't know why everyone freaks out about it. It's just very zen. You just quietly get on with it. Listen to a podcast or something. Requires no big thoughts, only little thoughts. I actually don't need the second line here, do I? Maybe. We'll see. So if these guys are going to connect. Yeah, so we need to hold that silhouette. We need to hold that silhouette. And that silhouette actually disappears. Okay. Where does it disappear, though? Uh-huh. That little stall, that tiny hesitation that Maya just did reminds me that I haven't saved in a while. We just saved. It's fine. Nobody panic. The retopology and decimation stages when you of this workflow is where you desperately need to make sure that you are saving and incrementally saving. You will need to go backwards and forwards. It is just part of how it is. I'm actually surprised at how fast we're getting through this. I thought this was going to take a lot longer. We still got a long way to go, but I thought it would take longer. The goal for today is getting all of this retopologized. The UVs, we will do... I don't know when we'll do them. Next week? Nah, I feel like I need to get this done now. Maybe I'll throw in an extra stream this week and just finish it up so that we can get into doing the texturing and all the stuff that people actually enjoy. That part of the stream where everyone goes quiet. Everyone's thinking about what they're making. Ended up in Blender with a bunch of modifiers. Oh my god. Okay, well, I mean, whatever works for you, man. Like, if that works, do that. You don't have to do it in ZBrush. You can do it in Blender. I wouldn't recommend it, but you can. Yay, okay. So we just have to fill in all the gaps now. Neither work? Oh no! Okay, I mean, send me your file, let me have a look. What's not working about them? What's giving you a bad time? Trying to make a full-length bandage. Oh my god, okay. You're gonna struggle, but good luck. I wouldn't recommend trying to make a full-length bandage. You could do it in something like, thing. Thing. You could do it in thing. You could do it in Marvelous Designer. Huh. Learning what not to do. I mean, that's part of learning. That's absolutely part of learning. I saw a reel from the amazing A-Cubed Ashley Adams, and she was talking about how everyone who's successful is sitting on a pile of garbage. And it's the most honest thing I've seen in such a long time, because it's absolutely true. Like, you spend more time fucking up than doing stuff that's successful when you're doing something like this. And that is normal. That is part of it. That is part of the learning process, is fucking up repeatedly and having to fix it and learning from your mistakes. As long as you learn from the mistake, then it's not a mistake. It's a learning process. That's fine. If you make the same mistake and then repeat that mistake over and over and over, then that's a problem. But I think it's also important when you are first starting out in 3D that as a junior artist, you are exploring your own workflows. You are learning what works for yourself rather than just like watching a tutorial or following your mentor, and your mentor says you have to do this and this, therefore you have to do it that way. Like, sometimes you will find different ways that work better for you and your thought process and how you think through a problem. A whole pile of working in 3D is just problem solving. So it's very much down to like how your brain processes information and how you resolve issues in your own mind, and what workflow is going to work for you like that. So you should never be afraid to make mistakes and then learn from those mistakes. It was one of the things when I first started streaming that was terrifying as well. Like, I make so many mistakes. And when I first started streaming, I thought like, oh my God, if anyone sees me making mistakes, what will they think of me? What will they think? Like, it's just, I can't do it. It's terrible. And it turns out actually people like it when I make mistakes on stream, because then they can see that it's not just them that has, you know, extruded the same point twice and now has a problem to fix. It's good. It's a good way of sharing ways of fixing things. In the same regards, it's a good reason why having a mentor is better than just studying from tutorials, because you have someone there to show you like, ah, yes, this mistake, I know this mistake, I have made this mistake, let me show you how to fix this mistake. As opposed to, here's a nice clean copy of something, that everything's worked out perfectly on, and I look very clever while I do it. That's why today's stream started with me having a giant problem to fix. Because if I'd fixed it off stream, you guys would never have known what the fix to that problem was. And if you've been following along, you would have possibly spotted it and been like, huh, I wonder how that worked out. But if I show you how to fix the problems, then you start thinking like an artist as opposed to just, you know, following along. There's a difference between coloring in a coloring in book and drawing something yourself. Not that coloring in is not its own art form, but you know what I mean. Thing is with retopology with Maya, if it fights you, it generally means that your retopology is wrong. Like it tells you, it'll give you subtle hints of like, no, you need to actually have that curve in there. That needs to exist. Like this. Oh, another big piece. Okay, this time I am actually taking a 5-minute break. I'm going to take a 5-minute break, guys. I will be right back. Hey, I'm back. Cat's about to go, bye, darling. So, let's see, what am I working with? Starting to get a bit tired. This is what happens when you're lazy. That was a lazy piece of topology, and now it's going to be a pain in the butt to fix it. But I will persevere. I haven't worked out how I'm going to fix it, but I'm going to fix it. That's not a great way of fixing it, but it'll do. Ah. Yeah. When you start getting tired, when you're doing retopology, you start like putting shapes in the wrong spaces. It gets a little bit dangerous. I think after this piece, I'm going to take a bit of a break, and then I might come back and carry on streaming this, because I do want to get this done, but I haven't decided yet. I might just go sit in the garden. Who knows? It's the general state of it. Either I'm at a computer or I'm just sitting in an egg chair in the garden. Those are the two places you can find me most of the time. Hands going numb. Yay. Right. So that's the next piece done. Yay. Let's see what we have so far. So not bad. Really not bad. We're getting on pretty quickly, actually. Still got some complex pieces to do on the front, but we'll get through it. It'll be fine. What I wanted to do before I cut things short for today is I wanted to have a look at some of the hair pieces, because they are actually really quick and easy wins for us to work with. Most of them are actually pretty fucking low poly to start with. So I might just leave some of them as is. That guy is kind of fine. This guy we can delete a few edge loops out of. We could optimize it a bit more if we really wanted to. Oopsie. Yeah. Edit. Where are we? Edit. Delete all by type history. Save. Hopefully that's incrementally saved. Hopefully that's not going to overwrite all my stuff. And then we can try this again. Sometimes you just have to treat Maya very gently because it does what it wants to do when it wants to do it. Like now. Not great. Usually what works now is restarting the file. So that's probably a really good sign that it's time to end the stream. Which is a shame because this is usually a really quick and easy thing to do. But we're going to have to, yeah, we're going to have to reopen the stream, or reopen the file to get it to work. I am tired. We have been streaming for 3 hours straight now. Yay. It's time for me to take a break. So this is where we've ended up at this point. We have got a decent low poly going on. It could be lower, but we're not going to bother with that right now. What I'm going to do before then is I'm just going to go to our mesh display and I'm going to soften edge on everything because we want things to have soft edges for when we bake them. Like you can see here. You can see edges. We're going to grab those and say mesh display, soften edge. And if it's nice and gummy like that, it's going to be a whole lot easier to work with later on. Whew, that was a lot of work to do. We did a lot in one day. One stream. It came out pretty good. I'm going to have to go through each of these individually to soften them up. But that's a later problem. So we'll do that later. Stretch. I just want to make sure I'm saving things properly. Let's go save scene as, and what does it say? What is it saving itself as? It's just overwriting the same one. That's fine. Save. So we can save that one. That's absolutely fine. And I should be able to open this up and keep going with it either later on today or tomorrow. I might drop another stream in before my ZBrush live stream tomorrow so that we can wrap this up as much as we can. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how I feel about it. Otherwise, tomorrow I will be on ZBrush Live and I will be doing the next weapon. There's 2 weapons that need to be done. Next one should be a little bit quicker and easier. It's a lot smaller and yeah, hopefully it won't take too long to do. We're going to be doing retopology in ZBrush, which is going to be challenging, but we're going to try it. And hopefully by the end of this week, I can wrap this up in terms of the UVs as well. We'll see. Unless you guys are desperate to have me streaming how to do UVs and Rhizome UVs, in which case, let me know. I'd be happy to do them on a stream instead. Don't forget to check out all the other amazing streamers here on Firestorm Studio. And if you haven't already joined our community, click on the links down below. You'll be able to find them there. We love having new people come and join us and hang out. So go ahead and do that. Likewise, if you're looking for someone who is going to be a mentor for you, if you want to get yourself a mentor, get yourself a one-on-one mentor, someone who's going to help you teach and learn and do the things that you want to do, click on the links down below. You'll be able to find some more information about that, or just send me a direct message. I am Heather Courage, or heather.courage on socials. Come and say hi. Thank you again to everyone for coming to hang out. I appreciate you spending your time with me. I hope you learned something. Let me know. Leave comments. I like getting comments. I like reading the comments. Yeah, you guys rock. You're all awesome. What do we say now? Don't forget to be nice. Be nice to yourself. Be nice to other people. And go and touch some grass. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.